Hey guys, so I just wanted to take you guys through what I've been doing to make your nice mobile website here. So I've got the web page open running on my local host right now. Let's see, here's the directory that I'm working out of. It's got all of your files in here. So let's see what I've changed, and I'm going to go through my general process of how I've been doing things and how I've been trying to think about it. So I've added a couple of things, like this slick nav menu is probably the biggest thing that I've added, and to do that I had to go into scripts widget, and here's a bunch of things that I've added actually. So I included jQuery, which all of these JavaScript functions like slick nav need to work. So that has slick nav, the responsive tables that aren't perfectly working yet, but I'm working on. jQuery in menu, some of these might actually be able to go away, and then a bunch of JavaScript UI stuff. And then this was really important to get the scaling for mobile correct. I don't really remember exactly how it worked, but it does. And then down here the script runs once everything loads. So when the document's ready, it loads the slick nav, and then it goes through and finds any tables and makes sure that they're responsive. And then the biggest thing is this mobile CSS file, and that's what I want to go through with you guys. So here in the mobile CSS file, the first thing I do is make sure that the slick nav menu is not showing and the mobile header is not showing when the website is in its widescreen version like this. And then what happens is this is the powerhouse right here. This right here says that if the window that it's in, so if it's on a mobile device most likely, or if someone has a super small monitor, then if it's less than this max width, then it's going to start doing all of these JavaScript functions. That's pretty weird. Let's get rid of that. There you go. Okay, so right here, right away, this has like a hard-coded max width, so what I'm telling this to do is use the entire width of the window. And then we get rid of your old head nav and the old header and a bunch of things like that, and we make sure and display this mobile header, which is this InsuranceQuest link right here, which is in the header.shtml. I've included this mobile header, which is just the mobile logo, and I hide your header, which is this whole chunk, because that doesn't look good on mobile. Alright, so then the sidebar was the other big one. Your guys' big accordion on the right here, that needs to get hidden because it's not too mobile friendly, and so I had to include this menu right here. This is what I replaced the sidebar with, and that's what this is here. Yep, alright, so let's get into it. Let's see how I actually start making these decisions that I'm making. What would be a good place to start here? So like for the mobile logo, Chrome is super powerful. I think that you guys might still use Dreamweaver, but I really think that Chrome's developer tools are superior. So this is Chrome developer tools. I am currently inspecting that element right here. This shows all the CSS styles attributed to it, and I can just sit here and tweak them and be like, okay, so this needs to be a little bit higher. I want this to be inset just a tiny bit more. And this is all I really do. I come in here and I say, what looks bad? I'm going to inspect that element, and then I'm just going to start tweaking these. I'm going to add something, so I could add like padding left. Whoops, I did something wrong there. But yeah, so I just come in here and I start tweaking things until they look good. The only downside to this, though, is that these are only tweaking it right here. As soon as I reload the page, everything that I've changed is completely gone. So I have to memorize what I just did and then go in here and say, okay, so for content box H1, we're going to make a new CSS style for it, we're going to say, oh, what did I like? I like the margin top. I wanted that to be down 10 more pixels than it was, or whatever. And that's really the biggest thing with making it mobile friendly, is you say, okay, what's not working here? We need to like hide this bar. This isn't working. Got to hide this bar. And you can just do all of that on the fly, because if you see here, all of those things are still there. So let's go to the old header. So there's your header. It's still there. It just says display none. And that's all I'm doing. I go down to the small screen width and I'm like, whoa, that doesn't look so good anymore. Let me add a display none right here. Boom, it's gone. It's already looking better. And that's just the general process that I go through. Finding things like the mobile menus, I just start Googling like responsive mobile JavaScript menu. And then you're just going to start finding things like, here's responsive mobile menu. Let's see if this is any good. Check out a live demo. Sure, okay, so that's what it looks like when it's big, and then, hey, look, it gets all responsive and small for me. Nice. So I want that in my project. Let's say I'm just going to go in here, I'm going to download the source, and then you're going to have to look at the source, look at the demo here again, and say, cool, so they have unordered, or I forget what UL stands for, but they have a list basically that has this class attributed to it, and then they also must include some sort of JavaScript right here, like responsive mobile menu.js. So you just have to include those two things, and then assuming that your data is in the same format as like this list right here and has this class, then it should just work. And that's basically what I've done with the slick nav. That's what I've done with the tables, and it's not too hard. It just takes time, and then you come in here and you start making the tweaks, and that's what it really is. It's like, okay, this color isn't too great. Maybe I wanted to go blue like the website or something, you know. And you're like, okay, cool, that looks good. And you keep making these small changes like that, and slowly it all comes together. But again, the big powerhouse, everything is just in this mobile CSS file. I had to make a few changes, like in scripts widget. I just had to include a bunch of JavaScript. Mobile sidebar, oh, that's actually all inherited. I didn't do anything there. Yeah, the header, I had to add like this new logo that we wanted to include. The actual sidebar, I had to get rid of the old one. This was a little bit too much, so I just had to change it over to this one. And this is really it. It's all just small changes. It takes time to make it look good and figure out what you need to change, but I think you guys are totally able to do this on your own. So I'm going to send you guys this screen capture here, and hopefully it makes sense. Send me back any questions you have, and we'll go from there.